Hello, everyone. Jared Couture here from Kung Fu Music Lessons, and today I'm very excited to be doing this incredible interview with the man, Mr. David Tame. Hello, David.
Hi, Jared. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. So, David wrote this incredible book, guys, called The Secret Power of Music. I'm sure some of you are familiar with it. Some of you are not. If you're not familiar with it, go ahead and get this book. This was released in 1984. If that's correct, right? 1984.
Correct, yes.
So this has paved the way for a lot of people, and there's a lot of incredible topics in here that I'm super excited to talk about with everyone. And I feel like a lot of musicians should be aware of some of these topics. So thank you so much, David, for joining me.
No problem. My pleasure, yeah.
David, all right. So yeah, Reggie Wooden, I told you he's the guy who got me hooked up with you, got me this book, and I'm super grateful for it. One thing we were discussing was this book cover. I just wanted to ask you, what is going on in this picture? What's happening? Can you kind of shed some light on that? And also, why did you choose this book cover? Let me ask that too.
Yeah, well, the primary reason I could have not been involved, and I did not trust the publisher just to take any old graphic artist, because a bad cover could have ruined the book, and I wanted it to be something beautiful, artistic, and maybe something spiritual, and it would be good to have something about music in. And I remember I chose two options to give the publisher. I forget what the other one was, and they chose that one, which I think was the best choice. And what it is, anybody who knows a bit about the Bible, when King Herod knew and found out that Jesus had been born, I'm not fantastic on the Bible either, but it was Bethlehem, but I think it was I think it might have been Nazareth or Bethlehem, one of the two places where Herod was afraid of, because they thought it was going to be the Messiah in a political sense, and Herod didn't want to lose power. And so, as the Bible says, he ordered, I think it was all children up to the age of 2 and below to be slaughtered. I think it was actually an angelic visitation that warned Mary and Joseph this was going to happen just before it did. And so there is the episode in the Bible. It's probably just one sentence in each gospel where it says that they fled to Egypt. So that's a painting taking place on what's called the flight to Egypt. But I'd like to say something about that, because there's a lot that the Christian tradition won't understand. And it wasn't just running away. They could, and they happened to go to Egypt just to get away and hide. It wasn't like that. Egypt is a very esoteric, mystical place. And in those days, it had a lodge of what's called the White Brotherhood, a brotherhood of adepts. So there's no doubt in my mind whatsoever that they went to Egypt and they would have been known, or they would have been recognized, that Joseph and Mary would have been recognized as being adepts, and they would have been with that brotherhood maybe for quite a while. It could have been a few years, and they would have fitted in there as part of the same brotherhood. So that's why they would have gone to Egypt. But all we know from the Bible is they went to Egypt. And what happened in the Middle Ages is that in art, all the various arts like poetry, painting, music with the troubadours, they picked certain main things. Today we would call it memes. And there were certain things which they really focused on. And one favorite topic was the flight to Egypt. And they added to the basic story, and it might simply be fanciful, but one thing that got added to the story is a certain evening when, and it's not in the Bible, it might not have happened at all, but there's a meme that there was an evening where they rested, and there was an oasis with palm trees, and the baby Jesus, according to this meme story, made the palm trees bow down so that it was a restful place for his parents to rest. So that painting is by Caravaggio, and it's probably from the year 1597. And he was just starting out, Caravaggio, as a painter, and it's the first large painting he did. Because if you go to a place like Venice and so on and see the kind of paintings they did, they could, I forget the dimensions of that one, but in Venice you get paintings which are like 25 feet wide and 15 feet high. Yeah, and that's, yeah, it's their alternative to wallpaper, I guess, you know.
Right.
So a meme was for painting and for songs, the evening of the rest on the flight to Egypt. So Caravaggio, he added to it, and he's the only one who did this. And he's got an angel there playing a viola, and he's got Joseph holding up the music to play. And I think Caravaggio alone added that. It was his own idea. And they are actual models. He got them in the right positions, and you can see, especially with Joseph, it's a very lifelike face, and you can tell they're real models that he had there to paint. And over time, old paintings like that have gone quite dark, so it would have been brighter at the time. And you have to look carefully over the shoulder of Joseph there. There is a donkey or a mule. You hardly notice it, but when it was first painted, it would have been more clear. So that's a long explanation. It's Jesus and the baby Jesus and Mary and Joseph on the way to Egypt.